Welcome back to another episode of Motivate with Coach Camp. I, of course, am your host, Coach Camp. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're down here in these amazing studios of SRP with Mr. Derek Michaud. All right, guys, look, get set up. I hope you've taken a nap today because you're going to need all the energy you got to be able to listen to this podcast. This is going to be an amazing, amazing podcast. I have an incredible guest this week. You know, every once in a while, I will have someone in here that is connected with their passion, and their passion is so incredibly impactful to people's lives that it's such an honor for me to be a part of that. And that's what's about to happen today. Today's guest is Mr. Connie Burton. Mr. Connie, I don't know any of the backstory, what brought him to where he is. That's what we're going to find out about. But this man is making a huge difference in people's lives. Personal trainer is just part of the title, but there's so much more. I don't want to be the guy that tells the story. I want him to be the guy that tells the story. He is an owner, personal trainer at Fitness 2000 in Senatobia. What you are about to be a part of is possibly going to change your life forever. So at this time, I'd like to introduce and bring in to the conversation Mr. Connie Burton. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Very exciting to be here today.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to come down. I know that you said that you had over 1,000 clients. Fitting me in is no small task, and trust me, it's not lost on me, sir. Talk about a little bit about where you're from, what family members growing up. What was that life like for Connie?
All right. I'm from east of Senatobia, original, out a little small community called Tyro.
Okay.
Luxahoma, places like that. And my mother and father deceased, and I have a sick brother and one sister.
Did you say 6 brothers?
Yeah, sick brother and one sister.
That's a big family.
Yeah. And, you know, when I was 5 years old, all we wanted to be into fitness. I was fascinated by how the body, you know, and I started dealing with animals and insects, you know, and you know, one day I said, I want to have my own gym. And,
this was at 5 you had an interest in this?
Yeah, 5 years old. And I built my own gym out in my yard. I had rocks, concrete blocks, and a few iron, and started working out. And later, I started working for other gyms. And when I got the opportunity to open my own gym, I was excited. My mother got me started, and a couple local bank president, and I started out small. But I could say this right here: personality, being friendly, take you all the way. And when I started, I got certified, you know, be a personal trainer, but I want to be more. And I started teaching aerobic, what called Taibo, and then
Now wait a minute, Connie. So we got to fill in some holes, man. This is amazing. So at 5 years old, you immediately see that you have a passion for exercise, working out. Where did you fall in the lineup of 8 kids?
Well, I got 3 older than me, 3 younger than me.
So you're right in the middle. And the middle kids, you always got to watch them anyways. So were any of your older siblings, were they influential in your desire to get into exercise and stuff? Was it a family thing, or was this just you?
Well, my older brother worked out, and I liked the way he transformed his body. And then what really inspired me, I was watching TV one day, this guy, he was fitness guru, Jack LaLanne.
Jack LaLanne, yeah, I remember him.
That inspired me. That's what I wanted. I said, that's it.
Okay.
I don't do nothing else. I sleep, eat, and breathe fitness.
That is amazing.
I love it. You know, most time when I get up in the morning, I feel so blessed to be able to do something that I love. And when you love something, you're going to be good at it. You know, I don't think it's nothing better than making people feel good, how they're independent, being able to walk again, have a normal life when they've been beat down, told that they can't walk, they can't make it. I say to anybody out there, never give up. I don't care what happened. I have had people come to me in a hospital bed, couldn't move, couldn't raise up, able to get them walking. And I have people come from many parts of Tennessee. I have people come from, I had people come from Corinth, Mississippi, Arkansas, just to have a chance to be able to walk and be able to get up and walk to the bathroom, be able to get up and just turn the light switch on. But I study, I pay attention, I listen. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but 95% of the people ever been to me want to be able to move, get back on their feet. I got them walking. And I'm so grateful to have proof of it because I video every client that
So, Mr. Connie, so this is a great tease. It's a great tease because what you do is beyond exercise. What you do is beyond body sculpting. It is life transforming. Okay. But absolutely. I want people to peace walk this little bit by little bit to find out how Connie got built. Because see, sometimes, and this is true for me as well, if I'm looking through the lens that I'm living in right now, it's easy to lose what built me to the person that I am right now and the person that I'm trying to be next. So sometimes people need to see, how did Connie get to this place right now where he's having this bam impact on people's lives in a way that people didn't think was even possible. So now you got a real good tease. I want y'all to keep sticking in here because this is going to be good. So at 5, you start working out. You continue to follow this path. You got Jack LaLanne that is inspiring to you. Did you play sports? Were you playing football, baseball, basketball? Was there other things, or was it just fitness at that point?
It was mainly fitness. Later, I became a professional wrestler.
Stop it. Are you serious?
Yeah, Ironman 2000, I wrestled pretty much all over Mid-South. Became a heavyweight champion one time.
That is important stuff. Yeah. Now, when did you get into wrestling? But I want to come back to this where we're at right here. But how old were you?
I'm 61.
No, at the time you got into wrestling. You don't look 61 either, by the way.
Yeah, I was in my early 20s when I got into wrestling.
Okay, so then I'm sure you know about Downtown Bruno Brown.
Yeah.
He's going to be on my show.
Oh, that's great.
That dude's awesome, man. I can't wait for that. So you're growing up and you're working out. You didn't really do the other sports. You get to high school. Do you start to see a path for you in high school that this is what I'm going to do for my life?
Yeah. When I was in school, I was pretty built. I worked out hard. I shaped my body. And people always want to challenge me and push up on wrestling and running. I was also was time everybody want to wrestle me in the neighborhood, just body slam. I was able to outdo everybody that challenged me, and that gained respect.
Yeah.
But also I gave respect to everybody who want to challenge me, and I let them know that just what I do is what I love. I'm good at it, but I can fail at it too sometimes. That's what really shaped me. When it come down to sports, fitness to me is my sport.
Okay.
If I had a choice to play pro football or continue to do personal training and strength training, and the pro football offered me $100 million contract, and personal training offered me a $20,000 contract, I'd take the personal training because the richness in what you do, that's what makes me happy. Every day I feel like I'm a billionaire when sometimes I don't even have $1,000 in my pocket. I got $1,000 I feel like a billionaire because when you can change people's lives, first I have to be example. I take care of myself. I eat right, and I work out, and I shoot videos. Every birthday, I want people to understand age just a number. I do some of the stuff that most people can't do, most athletes can't do. And by the way, I'm shooting a video this Sunday, and I want you to see it.
All right, what you shooting? What are you doing?
I'm gonna do some high flying stuff like box jump and slinging 80 and 100-pound chain, pulling dumbbells and chin ups and stuff that most people can't do, and high flying, push up off the dumbbell, stuff like that. But
so coming out of high school, then you're doing the fitness stuff, taking on people that want to wrestle you. You know, that's also building character, as you said. Right. You know, you're learning to fail, which, by the way, that's a thing as a coach, and I'm a coach for real. I think that's important. It's not that you should accept failure as a final product, but you need to learn how to fail and come back from that. If all you ever see is success, the first hiccup that you ever face in life is going to be difficult and it's going to be really hard to get past. So understanding what it means to move past failure plays into what you do as well, because you're able to see the limitations at times, but then see beyond that to the possibilities. And the only way you see possibilities is that you've been through some fire. And that's part of exercise fitness itself, because a person gets on a path, they start to get healthy, maybe something comes up, they get sick, they get injured, you name it, and it gets them off track. They got to find a way to get back on track. And the first time a person starts to have some difficulties, they can get in their own head. I think you know that. So as much as anything is physical, it's also psychological and being able to put those pieces back together. So as you get out of high school, do you go to college or do you start looking for the path to start your own gym, to do your own thing, to be able to train people? What happens with Connie from like, say, ages 17 to 25? And I know you already said that you were wrestling, so I got to hear more about that at this point.
Well, age 19, I went to Northwest Junior College.
Okay.
And I was majoring in welding. But I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Because I was trying to weld and I got burnt. Sparker hit my feet. So nothing, I said, no more, just here.
Sometimes you know something ain't for you.
Yeah, that wasn't for me. And so I pursued my fitness dream. At that time, you had to order the test and pass the test and study. I went to Daytona Beach, Florida, and got certified under Jane T. Bell. And after that, I got my license, and I knew fitness was going to be what I was going to do. But wrestling, I don't consider that fitness. It's entertainment, something that
But you got to be fit, though, to do it.
Yeah, you got to be fit.
A lot of them do.
But I like wrestling, but I don't love it.
Got you.
I love being a personal trainer and a fitness strength trainer. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't use the word, I'm a physical therapist. I don't never tell people I'm a doctor, but I'm pretty good what I do, and my record speak for itself, and I got proof. And the college thing, I went to night college, and when I opened up my business, back in 1997.
So you opened up the Fitness 2000 back in 1997.
1997. I had a few equipment. Didn't have much what I got now. Right now, I have a full-range gym with dumbbell, treadmill, elliptical, boxing ring. I have a MMA room upstairs. We train boxer. We train football player. We work with kids that want to be great at what they do in soccer, baseball, any sports. I can make you better at. That's what we do all day. I open up at 4:30 in the morning. I get started. I train all the way up to 7:30. Sometimes I don't get a lunch break, breakfast break. I'm train. Mm-hmm. I'm booked.
How many days a week?
6 days a week, 80 hours a week.
Wow. And so up to 1997, what was Connie doing? What were you out there doing?
Well, I was still working at other gym. Mm-hmm. I was working out, shaping my body, and
were you starting to develop trainer skills at that time?
Yeah.
So you were working with people, and what was it when you first got into it? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around some of this stuff. So, like, obviously, I've been into fitness off and on. I run marathons still to this day. I'm just an overweight, older guy, but I still go out there and get it done. I love people that look at me and be like, that guy can't. And then they're like, how is he? Yeah, it's right here, baby. That's right there. Yeah. So what I'm interested in and what I'm fascinated by is whenever a person starts to find that passion, like you've already said, the money, you're not tying your passion and your purpose to the paycheck. The paycheck is secondary to what it is you love to do. And when you love to do something, like you've already said, nobody has to tell you how to do it, and you're going to be good at it. So, but prior to 1997, before you open your first gym, you're working. How are you learning, or what are you growing from? If you could share some of those like aha moments of, oh, this is how that works. I saw this person suddenly achieve this goal and nobody thought it could happen. What was going on leading up to that gym moment when you opened up?
I have been talking to other trainer, other gym owner, and I saw that if you're going to run a gym, you got to have the whole 9 yard. I have been working with my craft. I have been doing strength and condition training. Sometimes was out in a park.
That's what I was wondering. Is like, did you have like a specific thing? Like you wanted to work on strength, you wanted to work on endurance, flexibility. Like, was there a avenue or a path that you got started on, and then it just started to kind of evolve to something bigger?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got started on doing a ab class and cardio.
Okay.
And I'm sorry about
No,
this.
you're all right. Look, that's part of this thing. Talking for a living can be tough. I make it look easy probably, but the truth is I have 5,000 words. My wife says I'm out by 9 a.m. I got to leave the house and use them.
I started out just doing a ab class and doing aerobic. But in the back of my mind, I knew I needed to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started the ab class, I already knew how the body worked, how to build muscle. And I started with a few people working at this particular gym. And one day, everybody said, you need to open your own gym. You need, we want to do more.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Somebody influenced you.
Yeah.
Somebody sees what Connie's bringing to the table and they're like, Connie, bro, you need to be doing something bigger than this.
Right.
There's a calling for you.
Yeah, this guy named Baba Smith.
Okay.
He's deceased now. He said, I got a building. If you want it, I rent it to you, and you can do your gym.
There you go.
And I said, okay, Bob, I can do it. He had faith in me. He said, you can do it. You're good. And some people said, just stick with aerobic. I said, no. To make a gym work, you have to do it all. You have to be smart in strength training and some physical therapists, and you have to be smart in aerobic. Because most gyms, when they open up, if they just opened up just for a gym, for people to come work out, they don't survive.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make money just doing a membership unless you're in a chain.
Mm-hmm.
But being a personal trainer and a physical strength trainer and aerobic, having that, and boxing, know how to train kids, all type of athlete, that's what kept me in business for the last 27 years without making anybody sign a contract. And when I opened up in 1997, I started advertising by doing TV and cable commercial, billboard on the interstate. But I learned when you're good at what you do, all you need is word of mouth. And I was spending a lot of money in ads. But once my reputation got out there, I didn't have to do it. People would come in all walks of life. They would find me. And now I don't have a business phone. I have my personal phone and my Facebook, and people find me. And starting out, you have to really listen to the people. You got to know what people want. You got to show love and respect. And you got to make everybody understand that you care. But when you do that, you don't have to do that advertising. People find you. And I just start listening to them. They listen to me. And that came a time when people were having bad accidents, stroke, or being paralyzed, and they were told that they'll never walk again.
So let's talk about that first time this happened. So you start out down the road doing ab work. You said that. Then you transition, you get your business. You're like, hey, look, we need to have everything. We need to offer anything someone wants. You realize that pouring money into advertising wasn't where it was going to be at. It was investing personal relationship. And that's who you are anyways. That was natural. That was easy. Once you make this connection, now you've got people coming to you. You're changing probably their diet, their exercise style, you're whatever it is, whether it's a baseball player or a football player, as you said, they have a specific goal that they want to reach. Now you're showing them how to get to that goal. You're giving them the tools. I like to use a lot of analogies. The analogy is putting tools in the toolbox. What works for one may not work for another, even though it's the same thing. You may be both going for baseball, but one may need different tools than the other one.
Absolutely.
And you recognizing that and being able to place that in them That's something that I think a lot of great sports trainers can do, a lot of athletic trainers can do. But when is the first time a person comes to you and it's outside the box? And that's what I like to think about yours. That's why whenever you agreed to come on my show, Connie, I was excited. I don't know if you could tell, I was excited, but I was like, man, this guy's doing something that it resonates with me, because you're not thinking inside the box of something. It's not like, well, I have to advertise, I have to put it on a billboard, and I've got to have these weights and this treadmill. No, you started seeing life differently immediately. You realized, I'm going to invest in people. I'm going to try to alter their lives, change their lives by investing in them, get them to see me, and I'm going to see them. I'm going to hear and listen to what their story is, and I'm going to try to help them. Then at some point, somebody somewhere comes to you with an injury, and instead of saying, you should probably go to a physical therapist, or I'm not a doctor, you should go somewhere else, you say, what's your challenge? And that person says X, Y, and Z. And you said, come on, let's do this together. Tell me about that first time, because there had to be an epiphany moment.
Okay. The first time, this guy had a son doing regular weightlifting at my gym. I can't remember the son's name, but I can remember the daddy. But the son said, Connie, my father just was in a bad wreck. And he had hung in the bed in the wheelchair. He can't move. And he said, you think you can help my father? I said, you get him up here. I'm going to look at him. Mm-hmm. I'm going to check him out. And by 2 weeks, he brought the father to my gym. And so I did a evaluation and checked him out, touched him, asked him could he feel. He couldn't feel nothing.
From where, the waist down?
Yeah, couldn't feel nothing waist down. Mm-hmm. He gave up. He told me, he said he could never walk again. Mm-hmm. And so from that day, I looked at him. I got it on my phone. I got it on my phone. Mm-hmm. It's been about 10 years ago. I said, you're going to walk. You're going to walk. And he looked at me, and I video every minute, every day, and how we got it done. It took about 3 months. He walked. I wanted people to see the making of this man's life being changed. Mm-hmm. I documented everything. He walked, and he had faith when I first started walking. But it didn't happen overnight. Mm-mm. But I kept having faith. I knew God had given me the gift because he had been everywhere. And so when he was able to walk on his own, I gave a big victory party celebration. And he walked up and got his certificate and told the story, how he felt about me and my team. And he ended up getting a job back, driving, opened up a business. And, it's just go back this right here. You cannot tell people what they can't do, they won't be able, because they get in their head and they give it up. Mm-hmm. But he not the worst one I had.
So that's the key part right there, because I want to keep going down this road of stories, and I'm going to try to blend that into where we are today and some of the other things that I know about you. But what you just said is so real. If a person can't see a path forward and they don't have that ability to fight through those fears that they already have. Everybody has fear of failure. All right, let's just admit it what it is. A lot of times we don't accomplish things because we've already seen how it's going to fail, so we don't even bother trying. And that's every aspect of life. Doesn't matter what it is, where you come from. But once you start to be able to work past those fears and allow yourself to have faith, like you said, and then just see what the possibilities are. You could give me 10 ways something could fail, but give me one way that it could be possible. I'm going to gravitate to the one way it was possible. So you're right. When they tell that gentleman, you can't ever this again, whatever that might end up being, that person believes that. And then that is their reality. What you believe becomes your reality. That is just fact. That's not psychology. That is just fact. And you, sir, saw that one sliver of possibility, and that's what you wanted to instill in them. So once a person starts to believe, then you got to find a path forward. So Tell people how that is, because a person hearing this that's medically trained, and I got a lot of medical friends, they'd be like, well, once the nerves are severed in the back, they can no longer walk well. That's because you're only thinking of something in a conventional way. That's that outside the box thing that you have to look at. How does that person stand again? How does that person move forward? I do know some of this because I know Devin, and we're going to talk about Devin. So for you, how did you see this and say, I'm going to work with these muscle groups, and I know that if I can get this to work for you, then that's going to work better for you? How does that even happen? How's a person that's not necessarily had that training know that you can do that?
Well, you have to understand the brain. Whatever you do, it connect with the brain. If I touch you, you feel it. It connect with your brain. And so when people come to me that paralyzed, can't feel the leg and can't move, can't get up, first thing I do, I touch them. I touch a different part where they were injured at. And you got to start by doing small repetition. Just say, if you was in a wreck and you couldn't feel your hip, I move it for you first. I start moving and working with it, get them nerves going. Every time, if you can feel, every time I touch you, it's going to send that signal to your brain. And you keep sending that signal to your brain, that muscle keep getting stronger, stronger. Repetition, like analogy that I'm going to use, like one time I was bench pressing 405 with my Mac. And so how I get there, I keep doing the repetition. Keep at it. If I go into a gym and all I ever lift was 100 pounds, that's what I'm always be able to lift it if I got to move forward. And so, as you give you an example, Devin, when Devin came to me, I asked him, could he feel the leg? No. I said, can you move it at all? He said, no. And so I started moving his leg for him. And my faith was so strong because I understand how the brain and the body work. If you get hurt and you get disabled, if I can get those muscle, if it's muscle, got to be strength to get you going, I can get you going. And first, you have to understand, you have to have that experience. It starts with core strength in the leg. You got to build that up. And I can talk all day long. I can show you a success story, miracle work all day long on my phone. But you have to believe in yourself and God. And when you start with people, you got to give them that hope. You can't say, I don't know, maybe. Because when Devin came to me, when I looked at him, I told him he could walk, he going to walk, that's all it took. Now he walking, going to get married tomorrow.
That's right.
He working, he do.
By the time this airs, he will have been married, but I want to say congratulations to you, Devin, by the way. So yes. So when he came in and he was a guest of mine, that's what he talked about. And he had been through, so that's where I was going to definitely blend part of this was he had been through different physical therapists. They had done different things and they just kind of like checklist, right? So when you're in a certain type of insurance setting, if you will, you know, they are allowed to do certain things, not other things. And they just check boxes. And then at the end of the day, you gain what you gain or you don't. And when he heard about you and he came to you, he wanted to believe, you believed in him, and he started working. He told me that it started out with his abs. He started working a lot on his abs, getting his abs stronger. And then he started getting his sides and his hips stronger. And then when he got the braces, the first time he stood up, it was like, it was unreal to him. And the day that he came into my studio to record his episode, it had just been a couple of days prior. He did 3 laps walking around your gym without any kind of brace or anything to hold on to. It was an incredible moment. And the very next day, and on my show, I had no idea that he was going to ask his girlfriend to marry him. I asked him about that and he just eluded away from it, which was interesting that the very next day he asked her to marry, and there's pictures of him taking a knee and asking her to marry him. And tomorrow, not in real time as you're watching this, but as real time as we're recording, he is getting married tomorrow, and he's going to walk down that aisle. And that was his goal and his dream. And you were able to do that. So clearly, you're able to see something other people can't see. You're able to take a path on something that maybe others haven't even tried. So give me some more examples of some of the things that you've been able to at least be a part of or completely transform.
I can bring up other individual that I have this young guy, David Rollin. He was in a bad accident last year, had brain injury. You know, first I want to say this here. Mm-hmm. All the physical therapists and doctor, they do a good job. Mm-hmm. And a lot of time, I carry the football all the way in. They do a good job. I like what they do because it prepared me to get them all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
And because sometimes when people have accident, starting out with the doctors and physical therapists, they can know some stuff that I don't know.
Sure.
And they can do some stuff that I don't do. Mm-hmm. It take a team effort. It take a team.
That's a great point.
And you take, like, everybody injured might be different. Devin had a brain injury. They needed to do what they need to do, get things working. When he came to me, he was on a cane, had been using walker. In 3 weeks, I had him off the walker because I knew right away I need to get his body strong, his abs, his hip, and I have faith in him. His mother was bringing him. Now he drives himself. He go to college. He couldn't run. Now he can run. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't drive. Now he can drive. Going back to college. I'll give you another gentleman. He had a motorcycle accident. Broke every bone in the body. Motorcycle threw him 90 yards. And he thought it was over. He thought it was over with. Mm-hmm. But when he found out about me, and when I looked at him, I'm like, man, you messed up. Mm-hmm. But I interviewed and checked him out. Like, can you feel me? Can you feel this? Can you do this? And about 4 months, had him walking. What I'm talking about, I will prepare, when we got through, you want to see something, I can show you some my miracle work. And what I do, like you interview me, I interview them. I introduce myself. I say, what was your accident? And I tell them, you're going to walk. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make you walk. I got the before when they first started. Then I got them now when they're walking. We got the present. We got the future. And so that's what I enjoy by doing this, because I could tell by touching and filling them out and put it on tape. Yeah. And then later, they're walking. They up again, doing things that they thought they'd ever do again. And so I say to anybody out there, you have a stroke, you're in a bad accident, don't give up. Fight. Mm-hmm. Fight. Find somebody that will fight with you. Somebody that believe in God. Somebody believe in you. If you give me 20 people that had an accident and in the wheelchair, I guarantee you 15 of them, I get them walking. I get them walking.
Let me ask you a question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I want to ask you a question on that because me personally, I look at what I've been through, okay, or friends or family, close people, and I have an idea, but I want to ask you your take on this. What do you think is tougher to get out of a person that's in a tough spot, a strong physical effort or a strong mental effort? What is the harder part to get through to?
Strong mental, because the physical part, I know from experience what I know, what I learned, I can pretty much get them there. But you got to get them up here. You got to connect with that mind. Because when Devin walked in, when he looked at me, looked at my gym, And they were like,
You say he made some judgments?
Yeah, this guy don't look like he know what he doing. This little small gym, you know.
Yeah.
But you got to preach it to them. You got to put it in their head. Believe in yourself. Can't give up. Cause I had people come to me, and I done the same thing with Devin. I touch them, they didn't come back. I do the basic stuff. See, can you feel me? And then they come back, and you know, cause it's up here.
Right.
They didn't believe the stuff that I done. It's in wretched with them up here, and so, cause when people are injury, like say for me, I like what I do. And I do it well. If I'm in a wreck tomorrow and now I can't walk, and it's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna think, I can't believe this happened to me. It'll be a scary situation because we take for granted. I mean, the little stuff, we get up, be able to turn the water on.
Oh, you ain't wrong about that. I had hernia surgery, and I was like, trying to get up.
Yeah.
You don't realize how many muscles you engage. You're right, taking those things for granted.
But they've been told by some of the best experts that they're not going to walk, not going to be able to do this, not going to be able to set up. You're going to be confined to a wheelchair. Somebody going to help you back. It's in their mind. But that's the reason when people contact me, I said, come to my gym. We'll talk. We got to talk first. We got to communicate. I'm not going to just start training you. We're going to get to know each other.
That's that investment part.
Yeah.
That's that understanding one another.
You're going to talk to me. I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have faith, you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Faith is evident, a thing not seen.
And that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when the only path forward you can see is not the path you want to be on. And it's hard to see something better than what you're at, where you're at right now. So, you know, I mentioned that to you. Mindset definitely was the answer I had as well. Physically, a lot of times we can get past some physical pain, discomfort, et cetera. Right. But it's the belief system and that ability to fight past all the limitations that we can find along the way. Look, I will say this full-heartedly. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be physical things that you're trying to work past mentally, or it could be just life things. Because what happens is our moment can overwhelm us, and it's hard to get past that. So we're talking about mindset. We're talking about self-discipline. We're talking about belief and having faith, like you said. How do you instill that in a person? You can say those things, but how do you build that if the person doesn't have it? And I know you've been there and you've done that. I'm going to give one example, then I want to hear what you have to say. We've seen all the Facing the Titans and all those types of movies where a team doesn't see the possibility and the coach gets them to believe in it, and suddenly they're the Cinderella story. They're the champions or whatever. That's what has to happen. You have to get them to see what you see. How do you do that sometimes?
Well, you have to. What I experience, first, you got to sit and talk, like I said. Then you got to show them that you care. You got to give them love. You can't be negative about nothing. You have to, like, be there. Like, if I say I'm going to be there for you 4 o'clock in the morning, you got to be there. And when they arrive to my building, we go outside and get them out of the car. We push the beer. We become family. Everybody that I do physical strength therapy with, they're my family. They're my brother, my sister, my mother, my father. And love is the key to everything. And so I can't start working with someone, I'm all about the money. Because my price is dirt cheap what I do. I don't care about the price. Once you show people that you love them, see, love will conquer all things. Love make people believe. You know, if you around somebody you like, your family member, you know they love you. And that's what drives you every day. That's what makes you who you are. That's what makes you great, your family, the love. And same way my client, when they come in there and they want me to get them walking, you can't say, I don't know, man, I'm not sure. You can't treat them like, well, you down now, you might have had it going on in the past, you might have been big, this and that. But you got to embrace them with all the love and faith. And once you do that, they look forward to coming. And when they first see a little progress. I remember when this guy named JD from Tennessee, I think in Cordova, I've been training him for a couple of years. When he first seen a little fleck in his glute move, he was so excited.
Small wins.
Yeah, small thing. Build up the big thing. Now JD is standing. Now we walking JD. JD are rolling. JD are driving. JD hunting. JD couldn't move nothing. But once that first little move, that first little thing they accomplish, they become believable. Go back to Devin. Devin couldn't feel. Devin couldn't move his leg. But the first time I started working with Devin to be able to squat. When he was able to come up a little bit on his own, that was the game changer.
That's that release in the brain where it's like, I've been wanting to believe.
Right.
Now I definitely.
If you don't get to the brain, you won't get the person to do that. Like you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So you could tell a person what you're gonna do all day. That's not gonna make them believe. When you tell them, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put my hand, I'm gonna start moving you. And when things start happening, kind of like go back, this old gentleman that I used to train, he had a stroke, had a 4th stroke. He hadn't heard nothing about me for 4 years. 4 years, that's 4 years he came to me. And he couldn't do nothing with his fingers, his hand. I worked his finger and hand. And he sent me a royalty check every year in January because of what I did. It made him feel so good when just to be able to cut a steak with a knife. He said, I could cut my steak, I could eat with my hand. But if I had believed that once you had a stroke, after 4 years, 4 stroke, you couldn't move your hand. But I don't hear that. I don't hear negative. I'm all about positive. And that's the way you have to be about every person. Just like you. You met me out there. You made me feel good. You walked up. When I pulled up, you was out there. That showed respect. That showed love. And I feel good about you having an interview with me. We having a conversation. And the same way I can see how my client feel.
So you was able to reverse the role right there. See how that makes you feel. Then you know that's what you're doing for others as well.
Right.
Yeah. So let me tell you this, but there's been some things you said here. I want to unpack it. I like to try to bring in a lot of information, then I kind of like, put it into a different spin or think about it a different way for a second, which I've already talked about. I like to stay inside the box. I don't even know what happened to the box, Connie. When I was growing up, they threw the box away. I've been outside the box my whole life. When you're talking about love, investing in others in that, which is exactly what you need to do to be able to get them to have the right mindset, 100%. The other thing I see, because being a coach sports for almost 30 years now, being a teacher, been a professor now for about 9 years, and then just ultimately being a life coach and trying to inspire people to do things beyond what they saw possible, there was 2 things I knew I had to do. One, they needed to know. I didn't have to get them to believe. I wanted them to know that I cared about their process. I cared about their journey. Their journey was my journey. It wasn't your journey. I'm going to give you some tips and see what you do with it. No. We're about to do this journey together. That's what I'm hearing you say all day long, my friend, is that you're not just having people come into your gym. You're giving them some exercises. You're putting them through a routine. You're on that journey with them every step of the way. Would you agree?
Agree 100%.
So then when you take that journey with a person, the other thing they need to have in you, and tell me if I'm wrong or if you see it different, because I'd be interested to hear it, is they got to trust what you're saying to them. They've got to believe you. You believing in them is part of it. The other part is they've got to believe you. They got to believe that you believe in them in a way that they can't see just the fact that you're saying words, you're living action. And I'm going to give you just a couple quick examples. I want to throw the table back to you, but I'm thinking back to moments in my life as a coach and as a life coach and as an athletic coach myself. Having a person say they can't this, whatever that thing is, immediately I will see where they are and I'm honest. And that's the part I'm going to. It takes honesty. So for a person to trust you and a person to know that you are in and you love them and you care about them and you're on that journey with them, they got to trust you. And that trust sometimes comes from what I would like to say is hard reality. Sometimes you got to give expectations. You got to give hard reality. I'll give you 2 quick examples. I'm going to throw it back to you. I've done an Ironman triathlon. If you're not familiar, it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, 26.2 mile run. When I went after it, it was about me. It was all about me. I want to challenge myself, see if I could do it. I worked my tail off for a year. I went, I did it. Wasn't excited about it though, Connie. I thought I'd be crying. I thought I'd be so ecstatic that I had done this great life task that I put before me. What I didn't realize, sir, was I was sharpening my skills to infuse that into someone else. And it was a few years later, my wife, that is not athletic at all, comes to me and she's inspired. And she says, I think I want to do an Ironman. Now, I want to be honest with you. My first thought was, there ain't no way you're going to be able to do an Ironman, lady, because I've known you a long time. You ain't athletic. But instead of saying that, instead of saying what my knee-jerk reaction was, because you just gave me an example of how a person's come to you all busted up and you're like, we'll see what we can do. But you didn't let them see that. You wanted to believe in them. So you're about to take that journey with them and see where they are. My wife goes down that road. She comes up short the first time. And then I tell her, if you want to do this, we can do this. We go and we work for another year. She goes back and she didn't just finish it, Connie. She beat my time by 9 minutes, my friend. That said, another time down the road, there's a guy that we're doing this long distance, whatever on, and he's part of the team members. He's not the athlete. And he talks about the Ironman to me. And he's in his mid 60s at the time. And he says, man, I'd love to do that. And I said, you could. He goes, no, I could never do that. I said, oh, yes, you could. He didn't believe it, but he knew that I believed he could. After he saw my wife finish hers, it inspired him to believe in himself. And he called me not long ago and finished his first Ironman at the age of 71. What I'm telling you is you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds for people to believe, even if they don't buy it then, maybe they'll believe it later, but you're investing in them. So tell me about some of those moments where you've had to have hard truth. You had to give hard expectations. And then that person that didn't want to believe you at first suddenly turns the corner, because my wife and that friend of mine I'm telling you about, those guys, they blew me out of the water.
All right. This is how the belief come. People sometimes don't believe what they hear. They only
That's what I'm saying.
What they see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to be example. You have to plant some seed. Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. This is fact. You have to be like the mailman, UPS. You got to deliver what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I say the word planting seed. Okay. When I first started training, nobody believed me in the beginning. Even though I was ripped up, built,
mm-hmm.
in good shape. But once you train a good 10 people and you didn't fail them, they all got the result that they were looking for. Okay? Other people start believing because they start seeing this person with 500 pounds, 200 pounds, this person 200 pounds with muscle. Okay? Okay. They start believing, you know? And so it grew. They believe, they know evident that I put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is when you know you got it going on in your fitness journey. When people hire you, you say, hey, you can pay for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Now you think about it. Some people pay me up for a whole year. Some people pay me up for 6 months. Now that faith, that believing, because I'm pretty good at what I do. Mm-hmm. I never tell anybody that I'm perfect, I'm the best in the world. But I tell you, every time I aim at the moon.
That's it.
I aim at the moon. I go deep, I go hard. And you can tell people all day what you do, how good you are, until you can show them. Because when I first started the personal training, when people, I mean, every month, you were seeing people transform. I was on Channel 3 News. They had me on there they was going to give me like 5 minutes, but they gave me 30-minute airtime because what they saw, mm-hmm. how good I was. At least they say I was good. And then you start putting before and after pictures on billboard. In my community, there are people know what I do. They've seen it. They come to me. I'm booked up. And the only reason I'm booked up because I make transformation. I deliver like FedEx, UPS. You tell people that you can make them walk. You can make them small. You can get them a six pack, get them bicep, whatever they want. People come to me. Everybody don't want the same thing. Some people want biceps. Some people want abs. Some people want big butt. Some people want little butt. You come to me, I'm going to deliver. And once you do that, people start believing in you. Word of mouth. Help people. I had 5 people hire me over the last 2 weeks, and they all paid me for 6 months, a year, or 3 months, because they believe, because what they saw, not what they heard. They saw somebody else that was unfit, big stomach, or couldn't run. They saw somebody like, wow, I'm going to check Connie out. And these people that come to me hadn't seen me. I mean, they heard about me. They man, I want to sign up. I want to hire you to make me lose weight. I had a guy hired me 2 weeks ago, dropped 17 pounds in 2 weeks. And what you can't do, you cannot beat people down by their diet. What you have to tell them, cut back and work out. Because you can't outwork a bad diet. You have to cut back. And so, say when the people come in there, that it's just like every month somebody, have a bad accident and they can't walk or something, they have a stroke. They already saw my work. They already heard about me. They heard about me in Arkansas, Memphis, Tupelo. They seen my work, because a lot of people go on my Facebook page, and you stroll down, you see a lot of my success story. And so that's what you have to do. It's just like you inspire your wife. She saw what you were doing. She saw what you accomplished, and she believed she can do it because you planted a seed. You set that example. Then she beat your butt.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was my success. Yeah. That was one of the funniest things, too. My friends were like, so now I guess you got to go back and try to beat that. I was like, yeah, I don't think you understand how this works. Because the truth is, when I did it, I did do it for me. And I didn't understand the bigger picture. And so you tied a lot of things in together right there when you were saying, given that line of story, is the fact that it was her that saw me firsthand. And then she was inspired to do it. But then it was a person on the outside that had mentioned something to me at one time about wanting to do it and saw her success from a distance. And that inspired him to be able to believe he could do it, which he did do it. Now, to that point is, what I realize is whenever you sign up to go on a journey with somebody and you're invested and you show them you care and you're giving them everything you've got to see their success, your success can only be measured by their success, at least in my opinion. And that was the moment when my wife crossed that finish line and she beat my time. That was the happiest moment I could have ever imagined. Yeah. It was better than when I finished it. That was what I realized. I didn't run that triathlon for me.
You ran it for her.
I was running it for her all along. And that accomplishment that she was able to bring was the actual success. So I have to imagine with you, sir, when you're going down these roads and you're doing these things with people, surely you're looking at it as you're only going to be as successful as the people you are training. So basically, we have covered a lot of ground here today, Connie. I tell you what, so growing up from a young man, you realized early on this was what you wanted to do. You loved fitness. You took that passion. You continued to cultivate that over the years. You started working out in gyms. I love the fact that you still are a wrestler, even though that's not part of your story. I still love that part of it. And then when the moment comes and you open your own gym, and you start out with just doing some of the core exercises, some of the core strengthening, but that transitions to you transforming people's lives to areas they never thought possible, working with injured, sick, people that have had all kinds of different issues take place, whether it was a stroke medically or an accident. The fact of the matter is this. It's clear. You have dedicated your life to helping others, to serving others. You've made it clear that is your passion. It was not a paycheck you were chasing. It was the purpose of investing and helping other people. That's what you've done. So here's what I got to ask you. Moving forward, as we're about to get to the finish line here, What's next for Connie? I mean, you've achieved so much. We've already talked about other people's success is a reflection of your own personal success, that if a person can't reach what they were reaching for, then you came up short. And that's not you. That's not what you want to be. You want to make sure that they're hitting those goals. So what's next for Connie? How long does this go on? And here's the more important question. How long does this go on? But how do you pass the baton when it comes time? Because I don't want you to be that grandmother. And if you know what I'm talking about here, the grandma that has all the great recipes. She can cook pot roast and chicken and dumplings and you name it. She can nail it, but she never tells anybody the ingredients. So when she dies, all those dishes die with her. That can't be you. What you do is too important. So tell me about what's moving forward for you and how do you pass that torch one day when it comes time?
All right, what I'm doing now, I have a group of younger guys. I'm training them to be passionate. I don't play around with them. I always say, look at me, listen to me, caution. Probably gonna find that word in the dictionary. Listen to me carefully. You're gonna find that in the dictionary and get their attention. You're gonna do it like me. You can't be passionate about it. You can't be nice. You can't work for me. Now, yeah, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to hire more trainers and train them just like me. I want them to be the image of me. That's not look like me, but think like me, do it like me. Now, one reason I try to sleep, eat right, because I want to do this the rest of my life. Even if I live, see 80, 90, I'm going to be training.
Well, sure, but that's the part. One day you go on, so you got to pass it.
Yeah, I'm preparing now.
I believe you. I think you could do it at 120, but there will come a time. Unfortunately, death is undefeated, as we all know.
Right. It's undefeated. And, I thought about this thing a lot over the last 10 or 15 years, and I got a good team. I got this young man named Evan, my brother. Well, my brother, he's a little older than me, but Evan's like 26, Corey, and a couple other guys. Evan can take someone in and almost do it just like me. I'm teaching him how to run the gym from the front to the back. He learning. He one of my lead man, and he love it. He love it like me, passion. And sometimes when I'm trying to pay him, he said, "Oh, don't pay me."
And his heart's in the right place.
Yeah, his heart in the right place. And I'm so glad that I noticed that. I picked that up. Because, if you got 10 people working for you, just for example, most of them, it's all about that paycheck. It's 100% all about the paycheck. If they training, they see these people that in need, and you tell them, look, man, I'm not going to be able to pay you this week. They'll quit right there. They wouldn't help get those patients up out of the wheelchair and do the job that we do to make them walk. But I am training other people to be able to take my place if something happened to me. I tell my guys every day, I want you to learn. Because some days I might be sick. I might get my leg broke. And by the way, I broke my toe 3 weeks ago, my big toe. And I had to take off. Somebody got to carry on. And so that's what you have to do. But you have to train people that see it got to put the heart in it, Well, I could church that's a blood vessel, but the mind is the real heart, because the mind control everything. And I hope that within the next 5 years, I will be set where I can sit back and rest, take a long vacation. I get 1 week vacation out of 52 weeks. That's in July. I get no other day. I work on my birthday. You ask me if I'm getting tired of it? No. But I would like to be able to say, hey, y'all run the gym, guys. I'm going to take a 3-week vacation. I'm somewhere I don't even think about your gym.
Well, Connie, I got to tell you, whenever I was doing the firefighting, honestly, I never saw the day that I wouldn't be a firefighter or a paramedic. And then the day comes where I'm retired and I'm no longer a firefighter paramedic. And I realized I had all these years of experience and all this knowledge and this passion, and I never stopped loving it. And that's why I got into teaching, because I realized the importance of passing that passion, love, and knowledge on to the next generation was so crucial, because now it gets to live on forever. And that's the part you have to see, is knowing that what you're doing matters now, absolutely, but also knowing that the day will come. I want to say this because we're getting close to the finish line, but every day for over 3 years now, I run a minimum of 2 miles every single day, not missed a single day. After nasal surgery, I still went out. I did a walk-ish, but it wasn't as much of a jog. I wasn't allowed to. But I've not missed doing 2 miles ever. And every day I finish, I say a thing that it just reminds me, and I say, one day, but not today. And I tell myself that because one day I won't be able to do that 2 miles, and I don't know what's going to stop it. I don't know what will break that chain that I got up and I was going to go do my 2, and then something takes place and I don't get to do it. One day, but not today. That's you. Right now, you're in the moment. You are building something that is way bigger than you. Passing that torch is so important that it doesn't die with you. And that's the part that I would encourage everybody out there. If you are doing something that's passionate and meaningful to yourself and it's bigger than you are, bring people in, not just show people what you can do, but bring people in to do the same thing, because you need that to continue on. That's how you're making a difference in this world. And it's definitely something that is needed. Now, Connie, as we are at the finish line, I always love to leave my guests with the opportunity to give a message out. We have viewers all over the place, all over the world. This is your moment to just tell them, what is your pearl of wisdom? What is that moment that you want to leave them with right now?
Well, I say this to everybody that listen. First, you got to know who you are. You got to do some soul searching. Mm-hmm. You got to understand that we only human. We're not going to be here forever. But be the best of the best, whatever you do. If you drive a garbage truck, or if you're a doctor, or you a football player, but you cannot have lack of faith if you trying to be the best, and something that you want to achieve, that you want to inspire other people. You have to love what you do and respect everybody else. Don't knock nobody that trying to do something positive. Lift them up. Let them know that somebody believe in them. Don't let it always be about you. You trying to get the glory. You want to be the center of attention. You think you are better than everybody else. Never think like that. Believe and be very humble that you can do more by spreading your love and instill in other people that they can be better, that they can soar and achieve their goal. Because it's going to come a time, like you said, death undefeated. And,
unfortunately, it is.
It is. And I never heard it put like that. I like that. One of my best friends, he will always tell me something else, not defeated. Chuck Jackson. But death is definitely undefeated. And so my legacy, when I leave here, it's not if, it's when I leave here. I want people to be able to say, he was passionate. He gave 100% every day. He came to train me when he broke his toe. He did a aerobic class when he broke his toe. He didn't stay at home. He came when he was hurting, when he had hip back problem. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be positive. If you're negative, people are not going to follow you. You know, even though if you're positive, there's some people not going to follow you.
That's true.
But majority of people are going to follow you if you're positive. And you have to set example. One example, let my light shine before other men. If I'm telling people to eat right, don't eat this, you don't drink a Coke, don't eat burgers and fries. Fries are bad for you. Here, I'm eating a big large fry, drinking a large Coke. That's a bad example because you want to practice what you preach.
Yep.
And so my number one thing, pretty much every day, try to get people to understand it's important to eat right, cut the fried stuff and eat like you should, more vegetables, red, orange, yellow food. I don't eat perfect every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cheat day. But I work out all the time. But no matter how much we work out and how much we eat right, go back what you said, death is undefeated. You better leave your legacy straight. You better set goals and stuff that, like you said, passing the torch. And you want that to be done in a way that it will help many people. Because, talking to you to say that, I was slowly preparing other people to do what I do. But having a conversation with you, you encourage me more than ever. I keep saying I'm going to put it on my website. Anybody want to come and do intern or be a personal trainer? Hey, I'm looking for people that I can train, get certified. You can work for me, because I need somebody to take over.
I think you do.
This white hair.
It happens.
It's showing.
I've fought it for a long time, Connie. I'm losing, as you can see as well. Well, Connie, look, I got news for you. What you're doing is a yeoman's work. I appreciate you taking time out of your very busy day to come down here to the studio, share some of the background of what brought you to where you are, what you're doing, what you're going to do next. If people wanted to follow you, how can they find you?
Well, they can find me on my Facebook page. We got Fitness 2000 Facebook, but just look me up, Connie Burton.
Connie Burton.
Connie Burton.
Your name will be spelled out, of course, in the intro stuff, so they'll be able to find that.
And if people that really need me for training, physical strength, I don't mind by giving my personal phone number out. I don't use a gym number, business number no more, because a lot of time I'm so busy I couldn't get to it no way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a waste. My personal phone number is 662-501-2001. Whatever you're dealing with, you're in a wheelchair, or you had a stroke, you've been told that you can't move, you won't walk no more, give me a call. Look me up on Facebook, Connie Burton. And I have two pages. I have one, fitness2000.com. But just look me up on my regular Facebook page, and I will respond, and I will listen to you, and I will never say no. I will never say you can't or you won't. Because when you talk to me about your problem or what you're not able to do, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to give 100%, let you know that I'm in this fight with you, and I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. I can believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself too. So that's what I want people to understand. Believe in yourself. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Amen.
Keep fighting. Pray about it. Be about it. Do something about it.
That's right.
Pray about it. Be about it. Do something about it. And if you do that, you give all you gave, and you won't have no regret. But if you, I'm going to say this right here. If you say you're going to open up a restaurant, a business, you're tired of working for someone else, but you scared, you got a plan B. If you never jump, you're never going to make it. If you don't take that chance, because when I started my gym, I didn't have nothing.
You just got to go for it.
I went on faith and belief. I didn't have a lot of money, and
sometimes you got a cannonball. Just got to go and jump.
I jumped. If you never jump, you'll never know. You'll never have it. Most successful people, if they never made the move, most successful people wasn't successful at all. Some people started business, they were already successful. The best successful people are the one that didn't have nothing, but they had heart, they had determination, dedication. And so you have to jump.
Yep.
If you never jump,
you got to go for it.
You're never going to make it.
That's right.
You never get. If I had never believed and jumped, I couldn't help all those people that I don't help to get up out of a wheelchair, be some of the best athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I had people go into pro boxing. I had people make pro baseball. And I helped people become top stars and what they do. And so if I had never jumped, some of those people wouldn't have made it.
That gift would have never been passed on.
If I had never jumped, Devin wouldn't have been walking if I hadn't jumped.
That's right.
And all the other people that I'm helping walking, if I hadn't jumped, believe in myself, they wouldn't be walking because they had gave up. They'd been everywhere. They've been some of the biggest, finest facility on the planet. But little old me, I just come with facts and love and faith. And when you come with that, ain't nobody can touch you.
That's right. Connie, I tell you what, man, I appreciate your time today. I know people are going to be profoundly impacted by this, and I look forward to seeing what happens next with you. And then I'm going to continue to follow. So you got these videos coming up. I'll be checking that out. And I know that my viewers, they are absolutely going to love this story. So at this time, I do want to tell my viewers, thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. I'm going to ask you at this time to go to my website, motivatewithcoachcamp.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube. And until next time, Coach Camp out.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up, so